Hi, my name is Suraj, and welcome to today's podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the data we've recovered and how that explains how generative AI is transforming high school education. Joining me today are Zoe and Michael. So let's start with Zoe. What's your take on how AI is shaping learning experiences today?
Yeah, so from what I've seen and based on the study we have done, AI is clearly making a big impact. Our data finds that students gave AI tools a very high effectiveness rating, 4.2 out of 5, and 85% of them say that it helps them better understand complex topics. However, about 50% of the students worry that using AI for things such as essay writing could weaken their critical thinking skills. So it's a good tool, but there's a risk of over-reliance.
Yeah, I think that's an important point. I think that AI can be incredibly useful, but it's probably going to be taking away from deeper learning. And I think, Michael, as a student, how do you feel about AI enhancing your learning? Is there a risk of it doing too much of the work for you, or is it perfectly fine?
Mm. It's definitely helping me getting things done faster. For our surveys, 78% of students in the study said the same. AI makes organizing ideas and doing research a lot easier, and I feel more efficient because of it. But like Zoe just mentioned, there's a fine line. About 60% of us are using AI for essay writing, and while it saves time, I sometimes catch myself leaning on it too much, which could be affecting my ability to think through complex arguments on my own.
Yeah, I think it sounds like there's a lot of benefit, but a real need for balance. So making sure AI doesn't replace the hard work of thinking critically. Zoe, do you think that the study also raises any ethical concerns? What's your take on those?
Yeah, I think it does for sure. 70% of students are worried about privacy from our data, and they're concerned about how their data is being used by these AI tools, and also academic integrity. 65% of students are concerned that AI might encourage dishonesty, so schools really need to step in with clear guidelines and ethical practices. But at the same time, it's not just about these rules. We also need to equip students with the skills to critically evaluate AI generated content.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Whenever there's an increase in technology, I think there's always a risk of invading personal privacy. So I think AI opens up new ethical dilemmas, especially around privacy and honesty. So, Michael, what are your concerns? And what are your classmates' concerns?
That's a good question. One of the concerns is like the privacy thing isn't always top of mind, but when you stop and think about how much data AI tools collect, it gets a bit scary. And with academic honesty, it's tricky. AI makes it so easy to finish tasks, but there's always that there but the- but there's always that risk of crossing the line and letting it to do more than it should. And as the study points out, about 45% of students are also concerned about bias in AI generated information. So we can't just trust what AI gives us. Like, we need to question it.
Yeah, I think so. I think whatever responses AI give us, it shouldn't stop us from still thinking critically. And I also think that AI literacy should probably not just include how to use the tools, but also how to critically assess what they produce. So, Zoe, with all these issues on mind, what do you think schools should be doing?
I think schools have a great opportunity here. AI is already a part of students' daily routines. We found that 75% of them use it weekly or even more frequently. So that means schools need to be proactive, creating programs that guide students on responsible AI use, while also encouraging the development of core skills like critical thinking. Our study also pointed out some systematic barriers. 60% of students mentioned a lack of access to technology, and 55% pointed out insufficient training for educators. But these challenges can be overcome with better investment and clear frameworks.
Yeah, thank you, Zoe and Michael, for those insights. I think it's clear that AI has the potential to transform education for the better, but only if schools can actually find the right balance between embracing the technology and addressing its risks. That's all for today's episode, and make sure you check out next time for discussions on how technology is reshaping education and how generative AI is. Thank you.